My best friend dropped a pin at 1:40 in the morning and texted, "Bring bolt cutters, bleach, and don't tell anybody." I read it 3 times sitting up in bed. I typed back what's going on. Delivered. Read. Nothing. Marcus and I have been friends since we were 11. He's godfather to my daughter. He has never once in 22 years sent me a message like that. I dressed in the dark so I wouldn't wake my wife, pulled the bolt cutters off the pegboard, grabbed a jug of bleach off the shelf, and got in the truck. The pin was 40 minutes out, at a boat ramp on the reservoir where nobody goes after October. My head went places on that drive. Did he hit somebody on the highway and keep going? Did he catch his wife with someone? Is he in debt to people I've never heard about? Is he already dead out there and somebody else has his phone? I kept thinking about his kids. His youngest is 4. I thought about what I'd say to Priya and whether I'd be able to look at her. I got off the county road onto gravel and my headlights caught his truck backed all the way down the ramp, tailgate open, hazards blinking, and Marcus in a headlamp, wrestling a chest freezer down out of the bed toward the water. There was dark liquid running down the concrete from it into the reservoir. I got out slow. My legs didn't feel right. Marcus. He spun around with the headlamp in my eyes and I watched every muscle in his face give out at once. "It's not what it looks like," he said. "It looks like you're putting a freezer in a lake at 2 in the morning with something leaking out of it." He wiped his forehead with his wrist. "Just help me get it in the water. Please. I have to be home before Priya's flight lands." I said I wasn't helping him with any of this until he told me what was inside it. He opened his mouth, and that's when the lights came on. 2 sets of high beams and a spotlight from up on the bank, and a voice on a loudspeaker telling us to get on the ground with our arms out. I have never gotten on concrete so fast in my life. Game wardens and 2 deputies came down that ramp from 3 directions. One put a knee near my shoulder blade and cuffed me, while another walked a flashlight over the trail of dark liquid on the concrete. I told the deputy holding me that I'd just gotten there, that my friend sent me a location, that I didn't know what was in it. He said we'd find out together. They walked us to separate cars. I could hear Marcus somewhere behind me trying to explain something and getting cut off. Then a warden pried the lid up. There was a long pause. Then somebody said, "Oh, come on!" They turned me around. The freezer was full of ruined meat. 30-some pounds of venison gone soft and gray in butcher paper. A bag of shrimp and what used to be a tier of wedding cake in a bakery box collapsed into a white slick. The liquid on the ramp was thaw water. No body. Nothing but 3 weeks of rot. Everybody looked at Marcus. He hung his head and told them the whole thing. His in-laws' lake place lost power in the ice storm. He was supposed to drive out and check on it and never did, because he forgot and then kept forgetting. Priya's parents fly back Sunday. Her mother's freezer had his father-in-law's whole season of deer in it and the top tier of Priya's wedding cake, which she'd been saving for their 10th anniversary. He'd decided the cleanest solution was for the freezer to simply not exist anymore. The bleach was for the smell in his truck bed. The bolt cutters were for the padlock Priya's mother put on the lid after Marcus left it open one summer. I started laughing while I was still in handcuffs and I could not stop. A deputy had to ask me twice to settle down. They uncuffed us. Nobody was charged except Marcus, who got a citation for attempted dumping in a public waterway and had to load that freezer back into his truck himself while 4 officers watched. I followed him to the county transfer station at 4 a.m. and we paid the after-hours fee out of my wallet because his card was maxed from replacing the venison. On the drive back, he asked me not to tell Priya. I told him Priya would have laughed. I've known her 15 years. She'd have thought the cake was funny. He said I didn't understand. 2 days later, she called me and asked very calmly why my truck was at the boat ramp at 2 a.m. Her mother's lake place has cameras.